financial super elite to.
Well, you know, the financial super elite are not always loyal to the United States of America. In fact, they have a demonstrated tendency to be biased in favor of a certain nation in the Middle East. And yeah, we understand that Netanyahu was not at all happy with Obama's reluctance to start the war with Iran right now. Netanyahu needs that war right now because he's losing support in the Knesset, and he needs a war to basically rebuild his fortunes at home, he thinks. And you're absolutely right. Declaring a default in Greece and starting the panic in Europe might very well stampede Obama into reversing his decision on Iran and launching the attack next week.
Yeah, and so, Mike, I think both of our programs are going to be dominated with this topic over the next couple of days. If it's, I just don't see, and I really want your opinion on this. You've been doing this a lot longer than me. I just don't see this being pushed under the rug as being just another Greek debt deal. We've heard thousands of them, right, over the last 4 years. The shelf life gets shorter and shorter, but we've never heard default, and we've never heard the too big to fail say, yeah, it's a default. So, do you think this is it as far as unleashing financial Armageddon, or am I making more out of it than it is?
No, well, it's kind of hard to say is really what it comes down to, because we don't really know accurately what is going to happen. The whole global economic system is not really easy to predict, which anybody who's played in the stock market can tell you. There's a lot of private agendas at work that are working covertly, clandestinely. There's a lot of money that is traveling through the black areas of our economy with all these bearer bonds and stuff going on. We know there are some people who want Europe to not collapse because then more of the credit default swaps are going to start happening. We know there are other people who are seeing utter chaos in the markets would serve their interest, and it's impossible to really predict what's going on. My sense of it is, though, that it's going to start cascading more out of control than the people in Wall Street are thinking that it will. And I think we're going to see where there are so many institutions that are leveraged so high that even a few percentage points lost on these Greek bonds is going to make them insolvent. Then they're going to start, tripping off their credit default swaps as well. This could easily spread throughout Europe with a firestorm of these defaults and credit default swaps being triggered.
Yeah, and nobody has to tell. I mean, we know that so goes Europe, so will go these institutions that claim to be of the United States. MF Global is a prime example. A write down of 50%, they're out of business. These credit default swaps kick in, and potentially it's ruin for all these companies. And like you said, you called the angle. What the angle is going to be is, hey, we're too big to fail. We can't fail. So, start printing money, start, overriding whatever representative government you have in whatever nation we're talking about, and demanding that we implement these kind of onerous austerity measures in order to make sure that the too big to fail, do not go out of business.
Okay.
No, that was it.
Ultimately, this is not going to be fixed with any kind of halfway measures. We need to do what Andrew Jackson did and simply say, this kind of banking system, a private central bank in charge of a national economy and loaning all of the public currency at interest, is a disaster for the people of that nation. I mean, Woodrow Wilson, after he signed the Federal Reserve Act, he wrote in his own diary, "I'm a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my own country."
Yeah.
Now, this whole private central bank model is a fairly recent experiment in history. It has failed every single nation that has implemented it. It is time to throw it away and move forward with a new system, or possibly move backward into one of the other systems that did work for the people. The problem is the money junkies are always going to try and twist society to drive all the wealth into their own pockets and all the debts and obligations and onto the people. It has been that way throughout history. We need to recognize it for what it is, and we need to set up a society that says we are not going to allow drug addicts to run our pharmacies, and we're not going to allow bankers to run our national economy.
I agree with you 100%, Mike.